guys, your buddy Peace and Harmony with you here today. And we're zooming in and focusing a little bit more in depth on what empathy really means and what empathy deficit really means. When we talk about a person who has a personality disorder, a narcissist, a psychopath, someone who uses this deficit within their personality to suppress and repress the needs of others, to give it nothing more than a superficial glance, a just sort of brushing off or sweeping off, and an invalidating. And this is known as negative validation or invalidation when you are in a relationship with a narcissist or a psychopath, someone who is really devoid of empathy. And part of their personality disorder is because of that very feature. Coupled with a heightened sense of superiority, self-importance, they're not really open to, sensitive to, and acknowledging and validating of really the reality of oftentimes what has occurred. So sometimes the relationship with these people can even seem to appear like out of reality, like where are you even coming from? And so oftentimes, because of the idealization stage, you then couple that idealization with a self-doubt. The self-doubt can become very deep and can become depersonalizing for people who are in relationships with them. Why? Because it's almost like they begin to have like an out-of-body experience where they're trying to live through the narcissist, or trying to live in that trauma bond. They're trying to satisfy the narcissistic ego, which is insatiable. And to realize that the narcissist has an insatiable need to control and to dominate and to be kind of the winner, where others have to counteract that and be the loser. So if you found yourself in a relationship with this person and feeling that really that you are getting depleted of energy or depleted of your life energy and kind of being sucked into this and sucked into really this self-doubt, which can become very prolonged and exasperated, especially if this person was really kind of the love of your life or the love of your heart, or really lit your heart on fire, then it becomes even more difficult to let it go, because you want to believe in the falsehood, the illusion, the fairy tale, and really sort of let go of reality, or what you need to do to keep your life focused, realistic, protect the boundaries, and then be able to decide and sort things out, what is good for you and what isn't. So your boundaries begin to become violated, your standards begin to be lowered, and really you begin to live according to their standards or their needs rather than your needs. So be very, very careful when you are kind of emerging from the narcissist relationship. Remember that that was merely a perspective to serve their needs, and it's meant to really sort of deny you your needs, so that you become anesthetized or numb to your own needs when you are with those individuals who lack empathy. It's if the two can't coexist. You can't simultaneously exist with your feelings and exist with the narcissist. It's like the one is going to clash or interact, or what is the word that I'm looking for? One is going to cancel out the other. You can't simultaneously develop, your voice, your feeling, your needs, and have them supported, and be in a relationship with someone who does not have empathy, who does not basically have that human component of heart or emotional intelligence that gives them the ability to give you the space to have that, to let you have that and not be threatened. The narcissist is really threatened by the needs of others, because it puts them on a back seat. It puts them on on equal playing ground. It puts them in a place where they don't have that leverage on top of others, which is what they crave. Like in the words of Dr. Sam Vatkin, like an alcoholic may crave liquor, a narcissist craves power and control over others, and sort of anything that bolsters up that superiority, anything that fluffs up or puffs up that bigger than life ego. But yet it becomes very difficult and harder to maintain, so the narcissist may become more severe or more pronounced in their narcissism, in their psychopathy, building the ego up even stronger, and then the person inside is becoming, the insecure person is never really let out. In other words, they don't ever work through those feelings. They can't coexist. One is going to detract from the other. So for them to validate your feelings is a threat. So they will not engage in it. Not only do they have the inability, but the apathy of neurons basically causes this change within the neural networks that wire and fire in the brain of a narcissist and a psychopath. And as with anything, the more you exercise it, it will strengthen. So in other words, just as yourself, the more you exercise your own awareness, the stronger your awareness becomes, and the more you become increased or open consciousness, and you're able to see what is what. You're no longer then doubting your feelings. You're no longer doubting yourself. You're no longer, shying away from the promotion. You're no longer shying away from following up on your interests or new friendships or learning new things, because you're still caught up in the quagmire of a narcissist or a psychopathic relationship and trying to figure it out and kind of get unstuck, crawl your way out. That is what it is like when you are around a person who lacks empathy. Eventually, you're going to feel an energy deficit within yourself, which is really, it's your inner emotion, it's an inner knowing, it's an inner spirit, whatever you want to call it. Experience it, you probably have. And this is because you cannot simultaneously coexist with someone who is going to invalidate you. It's like oil and water. You might have the two together, but it's going to be very separate. There's not going to be an intermingling, a blending, an interaction between the two where they blend like a recipe and then melt together. Oftentimes that's what you want a family to be able to blend and melt and merge together and be stronger together, but yet be independent. With a narcissist, it's kind of like it's always going to be them against whatever. And anyone who is not giving them that prop up of their ego, but is kind of operating or relating on that real true gut feeling, they're not going to be able to come and meet you on those terms. They're just not able. It is because of a lack of empathy. It is your buddy, Peace and Harmony, with you here today. I hope that these videos do help. Please share and please subscribe for more great tools, videos, discussion, and support.